What's up guys, Boss here, and in today's video we're going to be playing another full grand challenge. You guys have really been enjoying these, and I figured since it's, still beginning of the season on ladder, and also there's no global tournament going on, it's the best time to do these, pretty often earlier in the season. And you guys for a while have been asking for me to do a Sparky video, and I haven't, so I'm going to be using a new Sparky deck. It's been, such a long time since I've done a video on Sparky. It's not amazing in the meta, but it's kind of making a comeback, and in this deck it's so good. It pushed to #1 on ladder a few days ago. I saw someone get it. It's kind of a Sparky bait deck. You have the Skeleton King in it because it pairs really nicely with the Skeleton Army. If you don't have Skeleton King, I guess you probably could use Dark Prince just as another card for splash, and the Tornado pairs really well with the Sparky, and then also the Giant Skeleton Bomb to pull things into that, and then the Mirror's really good with the Goblin Barrel, so when they use a spell in the Goblin Barrel, you can mirror it, and they often will not expect it, and then Hunter, obviously, just as an air counter. So if you guys would like to support me, you can use my creator code BOSS in any Supercell game, would, appreciate that. But yeah, let's get into the first game here and see if we can get, another 12 win. You guys have been enjoying these videos, so I really do appreciate the support, and I'm trying to listen to you guys in the comments of doing these, full 12 wins with decks you guys asked me to. And I noticed so many people saying Sparky, a lot of people requesting Sparky, some different variations, so I'm just going to be using one that I think looks really strong, and one that is unexpected, that it just catches a lot of people off guard. And Giant Skeleton is really good now after the buff it got. I mean, it got a pretty big buff, 7% damage, I believe, and 7% hit speed. I mean, that's a massive buff that changes a lot of, interactions as you'd expect. So I have no idea what this guy's using. I don't really know. Okay, yeah, it is going to be RG, but he had the Tesla. That's why I was a little bit confused, and he also used a zap too, I think. I know he had a an ice spirit, but it also looked like he used a zap, so we defend that really nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and activate the Skeleton King ability here, so if he uses something to counter it, it'll likely get distracted. Yeah, you see, Skeleton King does really good against Mighty Miner because the skeletons just do such a good job of distracting it. So we can go Giant Skeleton here. Maybe not the best counter to the Mighty Miner because it deals a lot of DPS to it, but I guess just for our cycle it's not bad. And we could also, if he decides to send it in the other lane, use like a Tornado or something. But yeah, that's going to take a lot of health off the Giant Skeleton. Hopefully not kill the whole thing. Yeah, it doesn't, so we're fine. I'm just going to go Goblin Barrel here and see if we can get some damage. Yeah, Zap doesn't even take out the goblins, so that's not a great defense there on his end. We already take the tower, and yeah, pretty easy. I mean, first game of a GC, usually this is what typically happens. And I'd really recommend this deck for Grand Challenges. I think it's very good, because a lot of people who play Grand Challenges have seen the decks that are meta, like they already know what's meta, and this is one, even though I think it's very good, I wouldn't consider this meta. It has, like I said in the intro, it has pushed to #1 in the world a few days ago on ladder, but this is not a deck that you see often. I feel like I'd be lying if I said like, oh yeah, this deck is everywhere. I myself have only played against it, I think, a few times. But okay, he's gonna set up a push here. I'm gonna go Skarmy, and then I'm gonna go Sparky. Your defense of this deck is insane. I can't even tell. I guess I'd have to say the defense is stronger than the offense with this deck. I mean, you got Sparky, Mirror, Hunter, Tornado. You have so many defensive tools. The offense is not half bad either, though. I mean, because you do have the Goblin Barrel, and, it's very likely you can get your Skeleton King skeletons to reach the tower, or even the Giant Skeleton. So, yeah, easy game one there. Nothing too bad. He had a very strange deck himself. Like I said, I don't really know of any RG deck that has a Tesla in it. I don't know what kind of synergy that is. It probably makes way more sense to have like a a Tombstone or something, but doesn't bother me because we won easily. So yeah, let's head into the second game. All right, we're against Alanso. Kind of a strange name. So yeah, we do have Sparky in our starting hand. Okay, we can just go Sparky into that Tombstone. So he's laughing. I don't know why. Maybe I don't know. It's something I'm unaware of, I guess. Okay, he's gonna go for a Barb Barrel, so it's looking like this is probably gonna be Graveyard. So in this matchup, oh, it's Golem. So this is a pretty good matchup, I think, because we have Hunter and we have Sparky, and Sparky does really good against Golem pushes, typically. Of course, if they have a Lightning, it can be reset, but just in general, it usually does quite a good job. So we'll just go Hunter here. I guess I probably could have Tornado the Baby Dragon to activate the King Tower because it was on the inside, but I don't know if it would have been worth it because he isn't using Graveyard. Like, there's no Graveyard Night Witch deck. I know this for a fact is Golem. And he just used his Barb Barrel, so I guess I could probably go Goblin Barrel here. I'm going to play it in the back because I don't want to wait for that Skeleton King. I'd have to leak Elixir. And we'll just go Skeleton King here on defense. And then maybe I'll go for Skarmy to help take care of everything. I don't know if there's any point in activating my ability of the Skeleton King just because I feel like it would have died. Okay, not too bad. We take like a little bit of chip damage, but nothing too crazy. Giant Skeleton is also, I would say in general, pretty good against Golem pushes just because it kind of is a nice like tank for your Sparky and also the Hunter, and of course it can do some good work against the support cards like the Night Witch. So we'll just go ahead and Sparky. But yeah, the Tombstone is going to be a little problematic, I would say. I would say that of everything in his deck is going to be the most annoying because that does such a good job of stalling a Sparky, obviously. But I'm going to go ahead and Giant Skeleton here. As I said, it's a good way of defending the Sparky. I think he's going to probably Lightning this, though. Yeah, he does, but the Sparky shot again beforehand, so that's good. I'm going to go ahead and activate the ability, and then I think we can Tornado the Golemite to activate. Oh, I missed the Tornado, but I don't think it's too big of a deal. This guy, I mean, I have to say, for someone at, like, 1 win in a Grand Challenge is actually playing pretty decent. Like, I'm a little surprised. Like, he hasn't really made any, like, major mistake yet. I can't tell if it's because he's using Golem and it in general is slightly easier to play than a lot of things, or if it's just because yeah, he's actually like kind of decent. I really don't know. I guess we'll find out. Okay, so this might be a good push. I'm gonna mirror the Hunter. The baby drags are really annoying. They're getting so much value. Skeleton King reaches the tower, though, which is good. Oh, the Hunter also splashed. That's great. Yeah, we gotta watch out for this baby drag, so I'm gonna go Giant Skeleton here. And we have the Tornado, so I probably can just Tornado this backwards. And then Hunter to take out the baby drag. Golem won't get a single hit, but it does splash on the tower, so that's unfortunate. And this is looking okay now. We have a small lead, and I'm gonna go Goblin Barrel. And then if he goes Barb Barrel on top of it, I'm going to mirror it. And you can still activate your Skeleton King ability, or any champion ability for that matter, and still mirror, so that's really clutch. So yeah, we're going in here. This is going to be a pretty solid push with the mirrored barrel. I don't know if the Sparky is going to connect. No, it barely doesn't, unfortunately. So we'll just Giant Skeleton. We need to get a little bit more chip damage with the Goblin Barrels, and then we should be able to hopefully win this one. I'm going to go Goblin Barrel now, because he's going to be tempted to Barb Barrel the Skarmy. Okay, Barb Barrel's that, so let's go for the Goblin Barrel, and we're getting... Okay, nice. That should be GG. All we have to do is just Tornado. Actually, let's just wait till we get back to the mirror, so we can just mirror the Tornado 2 times. And yeah, that'll do it. Nice. That guy actually, I have to say, did a really good job for this being the second game in a Grand Challenge. I mean, he actually had the... He made me have to work for that win. I guess that's the best way to put it. Like, it wasn't a game, as you could tell, that was, like, super easy. I didn't, you know, like, 3-crown him in, like, 2 minutes or, like, even beat him in the first 3 minutes. He kind of knew what he was doing. I mean, he definitely made a couple mistakes, because I would say, I don't know what that matchup is. I think it's probably about even, because I think, you know, he has Barb Barrel, good counter to the bait cards, but at the same time, my Sparky does get a good amount of value in, like, the Hunter, but I don't know. I mean, Lightning is so good against the Sparky, and then if there's another card nearby, like the Hunter, he gets so much value with it. So it's kind of hard to say. That was very aggressive. I think the Ramrider is going to connect, but this counter push is going to get a lot of value, so I'm not really too concerned with what just happened, because he just spent so much Elixir. I don't think he's going to be able to defend this. I'm going to go Bar Barrel. And I don't even think he has a counter to it. I think, like, he has Snowball. He actually has a Zap. So let's do it again and just ignore the E-Wiz because he's low on Elixir and he just used his Zap. So, yeah, you see the Hog Scream come out. He knows he's in trouble, and we already took his tower. So, I guess it's safe to say it's pretty much GG. I don't see him coming back from this because we could just Tornado the Ghost to the King Tower and then just play Skarmy on his Ram Rider, and I think he's not back to his Zap yet, so that should be, yeah, clean defense. Man, I can tell he knows he's in a rough spot from those, the Hog Screams. Alright, he's gonna Inferno Drag, interesting. Just gonna plop a Hunter on that. Maybe he goes Bandit and tries to... Oh, yeah, he did. I just mirrored it. I don't even know if that was a good play, but... You know, why not? I knew I was, like, up a little bit of Elixir, so it wasn't gonna, like, hurt us. Just activate this. And we have Sparky if he decides to go for a Ram Rider. But I think for now we'll just Giant Skeleton. I don't want to Sparky right into an E-Wiz. That wouldn't be a good idea. So Skarmy to distract this. He's probably... Oh, okay. I mean, the poison would have been good if it hit the whole Skarmy, but it didn't for him, unfortunately. Let's go Skeleton King here, because he's probably going to zap the Sparky. Or he would have, most likely, if I didn't play the Skeleton King. So I wanted to get, like, backup. Otherwise, that Bandit would have gotten a lot of damage. So yeah, the Inferno Drag might actually be a tricky card to play against, just because you don't have, a reset to it. So you need to be really careful, because if you go for like a massive push, like Giant Skeleton Sparky, I guess it technically could take out the whole thing. But you do have the Tornado to pull it away, so it's not like, you know, you have nothing. But yeah, I guess he's a little surprised about the deck or something, I don't know. Yeah, the deck he was using is kind of... It's kind of like a traditional Mega Knight Ram Rider deck. It didn't have a champion, though, which was odd. I guess he decided to use E-Wiz instead of the Archer Queen, which is an interesting choice, I would say. Anyway, here we are in the next one. He's just going to cycle Skeletons. We can go Sparky, so maybe he's using, like, Mortar or something, because that's typically in this meta, when someone has Miner and Skeletons, it's Mortar. And with him having Archer Queen, I guess... there's even a higher chance of that now, so I'm just going to go for a Giant Skeleton to protect the Sparky and hopefully take care of this Queen. So, let's actually Tornado that together. I was hoping the Sparky was going to shoot it, but I realized the Tornado was still good because it kept the Queen inside of the bomb. I don't know, it probably wasn't the best Tornado, but either way, I was about to be full on Elixir, so it didn't really... hurt me that much. We're gonna Goblin Barrel, and he's got bats, so he has a little bit of a different variation. Maybe he doesn't have Log or Fireball, because typically the deck doesn't have bats in it, and he already showed his skeletons, so I'm very curious as to what variation he's running here. I'm gonna go ahead and activate... Okay, that wasn't worth it because he played a Valkyrie. I didn't actually think he would play a Valkyrie, because he didn't really need to, because the Mortar was already up. Maybe he predicted that I was going to activate it. I don't really know, but Mortar is actually a very annoying card sometimes when you have a Sparky rolling in, because it gets so much value against it. I'm going to Sparky again, though, because I just feel like now that his Mortar's dead, we don't have to worry about the defensive Mortar for at least a little while, so it's a good chance for us to get a good push going. Sometimes you can catch them off guard by tornadoing the Queen in, and if they don't react in time, you can actually... Yeah, right there, basically what just happened. That's exactly what I was talking about. So we managed to take that out, and it looks like he doesn't have Log, so this matchup is... Oh, wait, he does have Log. What? I thought he played it late, so I was thinking, like, oh, he probably doesn't even have Log. So even though he does have Log, this is a really solid start. He doesn't have a reset to the Sparky, so we got that going for us. I guess we can just go Skarmy here. And then just go Giant Skeleton, just to ensure the Queen doesn't lock on the Sparky. And then we're going to send in the Barrel. And And then send in the mirrored one. Probably go Tornado here to take out the bats. That might... Oh, no. I was hoping it would... take out the... It was splash the Valk in the tower, I meant. Alright, we might have to let this mortar lock on. Just so things... Just so we don't have to play so many cards and ruin our cycle. And then I'm just going to Giant Skeleton in the back. We're still winning, so there's no, like, stress or anything. And if anything, this probably gets a little better for us as it goes on, because we can overwhelm him. This deck does really good at overwhelming your opponent, I think. So let's try to Tornado this Queen in. Nice, we do kill it. That's great. And then he's probably going to log this, so let's mirror. Playing it normally so he can't, like, Valkyrie in the front and take it all out. And then let's Giant Skeleton. Okay. Gotta get something down for that mortar. And that shouldn't splash the, Okay, we could actually Tornado that Queen into the other lane. Oh, he just wasted the ability. That's perfect, actually. I think he got confused. He thought I was gonna Tornado the, He thought I was going to Tornado the Queen into the Sparky shot, but instead I had a different idea with that Tornado, so it caught him off guard. Oh, nice. The bomb reached the tower. I wasn't sure if it was going to. It was pretty close. Alright, so there you go. That's kind of a meta deck. We just played against that Mortar Queen deck, except he had Poison instead of Fireball. But, you know, if anything, that probably helps us, because Poison isn't really a great card against Sparky. And yeah, sorry guys about my cough. I'm still I'm almost better, but kind of still have a little bit of a cough. But not as congested, which is good. I'd prefer to have a cough. But I don't know, that might be more annoying for you guys. So if that's the case, then I apologize. But, shouldn't have it at all anymore in a couple days, at least I hope. Alright, so... Yeah, usually I like to react to my opponent with this deck, so I don't typically make the first play, but if this guy isn't going to do anything for a while, I'll probably just go ahead and Skeleton King in the back first play. It's probably pretty safe, because, I don't know, it's only 4 Elixir, and then if you have a Sparking cycle, you can just Sparky into what they play, and this deck is so defensive, as I said. I mean, even if you use your Sparky, you can mirror the Sparky, or you can just use the Hunter, you know? So it's like, worst case scenario, you're fine. So Giant Skeleton here, that's going to shoot both of them. That's great. Let's send in the Goblin Barrel. I might actually juke it, because I know he's going to... Ooh, wow, he logged anyway. Okay, great usage there of that Tornado. That was really good. And that Sparky, I think, might even... Nice, yeah. Yeah, that was a great Tornado. That was, I didn't realize it was going to end up being that good, but that got me a Sparky shot. I mean, otherwise, if I didn't do that Tornado, you saw the pig there, it would have distracted the Sparky, and things would have gotten a little chaotic. He could have gone for an RG on the counter push. Things could have gotten a little scary if I wasn't careful. So that Tornado really, you know, was good offensively, but also defensively. It was a really good play, I think. So... We got a little bit of a push coming in here. Maybe I'm just going to go ahead and mirror the Sparky, because I think this one may go down here. Although, if he doesn't Fisherman this away, or Lightning it. Oh, wow, he's just going to... Okay, I don't know why he just gave it that value. To be fair, this deck probably does quite good against RG, because I was actually running RG and I lost to this deck a couple of times. That's part of... how I kind of like learned about this deck, or realized it's like pretty decent. I think it does great against RG, because yeah, I lost to it the 2 times I played against it, and the issue is you don't have a reset to the Sparky, especially if you have Fireball, and then also, even if you have Lightning, just breaking through a Hunter, Skarmy, Tornado is not an easy thing to do with RG, and for this guy, clearly he had trouble doing it. I mean, we got 3 Sparkies on the board. Like, are you kidding me? Alright. So, 5-0 now cruising along, but still a long way to go. 7 more wins. I'll see you guys when we find the next game. Alright, so we're against Chair. He's just going to go Fire Spirit at the bridge first play. Unfortunately, I didn't have a adequate response to that, but we do... okay, we can actually mirror this. This is better, I think, than going Tornado because we fill up the Skeleton King bar, but that actually connected. That was kind of my bad. I should have dropped that a little earlier. But on the plus side, I actually think this is a pretty good matchup for me. I'm not too worried because Sparky in general does very good against Drill, and the reason why I say that is because they don't usually have a good counter to it unless they're using the Drill Rocket variation. But if they're using the variation most of the time, where it's like with the Inferno and Tesla, they typically are going to have Fireball. But the one downside of this matchup is his Inferno is going to get a lot of value because I don't have a reset to it. So yeah, that is a problem, but besides that, I think it's not too bad, because the Skeleton King as well as the Skarmy are going to, on the defensive end, get us a lot of value, and usually Drill players don't have a log, so that's also really good. Okay, so he sends that in. I'm just going to Skarmy, and that'll take care of everything. I don't even know what the point of that Drill was, because... And probably I could have just activated the King Tower there. I don't know why I didn't. I just thought he was going to support the Drill, but for whatever reason he didn't. So, I don't know. This guy's just spamming WoW, so he's surprised for some reason. I don't know what. We can actually ignore those wall breakers because he already dealt a good amount of damage in the other lane, and I'd rather build up a push instead of overcommitting on it, because if I had defended those, I wouldn't be able to support my Sparky push as well, so I prefer to do that, honestly. In fact, I'm going to mirror the Sparky and play it in the other lane, because with this Sparky up, he can't pressure the right lane yet, so he can't really pressure any lane right now. He's a little bit... He's like... He has to defend, basically, is what I'm saying. So, yeah, dual lane push, I think, is good in this type of matchup. Just trying to get them to... It kind of confuses them, too. Dual lane pushes, I feel like, are really, like, underrated, because... Some people just don't know how to defend, and we can mirror the Goblin Barrel because, as I said, he doesn't have any counter to the Goblin Barrels, so the Goblin Barrels are going to be kind of like the MVP in this match, definitely our win condition. Any kind of deck that doesn't have Log, Arrows, or Barb Barrel, yeah, your Goblin Barrels are going to put in a lot of work, and, well, you already won the game. Okay. Yeah, that's really all it took, just a little bit of dual lane pressure, and, you know, I didn't even play that good in single elixir, but it didn't matter, you know, this is the type of matchup where it's like, you don't need to play perfect to win, you just need to just overwhelm them, and they really shouldn't be able to do anything. If they have Skarmy, it's probably a little harder, because they get more value against your, like, giant skeletons and stuff, but I think even then you can just kill it with a tornado, so I don't even know if it's that much more difficult. Who knows? Anyway, 6-0, so halfway through. I'm kind of liking how this is going so far. Hopefully it stays pretty easy. I'm actually going to, instead of playing a Hunter, I'm going to go Giant Skeleton, because even though Hunter, yeah, it counters it, this way I don't have to use one of my air cards in case he's using, like, Lava or something, and a Giant Skeleton applies way more counter push than a Hunter does. So that's kind of like my reasoning for cycling that, even if it doesn't make a lot of sense. He just used his Bar Barrel, so that's really good for me, and he just missed the tornado, so, actually, watch this. We can still mirror the Goblin Barrel after cycling Skeleton King, so we're going to do this. His Bar Barrel and his tornado out cycle. He did go for the Valkyrie, though, but that Giant Skeleton took out that, so we're fine. Let's just go for Sparky here. He probably is going to want a Graveyard, so I'm playing it higher up to make sure it doesn't get distracted and hit one of the Graveyard Skeletons. And then this is going to give us a really nice counter push, I think. At least I hope it does. Okay, yeah, he has to waste a Baby Dragon because his Tombstone was 1 card away, so he spent 7 Elixir just to counter a Sparky that already killed a Valkyrie. So, if you ask me, I am fine with that interaction. I don't really care that the Sparky went down, and he even Bar Barreled too, so it could be another time to pressure him with the Goblin Barrel, which I think I am going to do, and then consider mirroring it, depending on what he does. He does Valkyrie, though, but this Giant Skeleton is going to do some, yeah, good work here. It should also hit the Ice Wizard. I think the Ice Wizard probably will walk into it. let's go ahead and do this, actually, to pressure, because I think he's not back to his bar barrel. He might be now. Yeah, he got back to it. But wait, I just realized it doesn't... I forgot about that interaction. A mirrored... Oh my gosh. That's too good. Could I activate the king tower here? It's going to be a little... Oh, nice. We do it. That might have just won us the game if he doesn't take, like, our whole tower here. Wow, that's ridiculous how much damage it did. Graveyard is kind of OP sometimes. But, like, the king activation helps us so much. And, like, even if he takes my tower, which he probably will, I guess we do have the advantage, technically speaking, because... Like, in a 2-tower game, usually you always have the advantage against Graveyard, but luckily we are able to get the win. That king activation probably won us the game, because if I didn't activate it there, I feel like he would have taken my tower. But then again, we most likely would have taken his, because he was kind of rushing to get mine at the end, but either way, nice win. I don't even think that's that easy of a matchup, because Tombstone's great against the Sparky. You kind of saw that in the Golem game, and he had Bar Barrel, and also... he has poison for, like, my only graveyard answer, which is Scar Me, or he could Tornado it. So, I don't think that that's really easy, but at the same time, well, it's winnable, as you just saw. So, alright, we're against, Koka here. We have, I was about to say, like, we have an interesting starting hand, but then what I realized is pretty much every starting hand you have with this deck is kind of interesting, right? Because it's a little bit off meta. So, he's just going to go Tombstone, which could be a lot of different things. I mean, I really don't know what this is yet. I'm going to cycle my Hunter. It's safe to do because if he has Lava, I could just mirror the Hunter. He's going to Fireball it. Yeah, so this could definitely be, like, Lava, I would say. There's a very good chance of it. Let's just Giant Skeleton in the back. Worst case scenario, if he balloons or something, I can Tornado it. Okay, so what do we want to do here? So his Tombstone is at the moment out of cycle still. If he zaps this, I can just barrel. And that should be good. So yeah, we're going to take his tower, it looks like. Now, wait, actually, instead of playing a Hunter, could it be a good idea just to Tornado this balloon to our King Tower and then just Hunter the... Lava? That could actually be a good play. And then Skeleton King to protect. I don't think he can afford a Fireball on the Hunter. Yeah, he couldn't. If he did, you know, have enough, I assume he would have gone for a Fireball Zap on it. So if he Lavas in the back, I'm just going to mirror the Hunter. In fact, maybe I'll just do that right now because I feel like he's, you know, he of course he's going to want to, right? So I'm going to do it. Okay, yeah, there you go. So, you know, Hunter coming in. He's given the wow. He didn't expect the mirror. So yeah, this is great. We could just go Giant Skeleton to protect it. And this is good because we could probably get back to another Hunter pretty quickly if I need it. Yeah, nice. We protect that. That's good. And then Skeleton King to just continue keeping it alive. And then we could, of course, activate the ability. I don't even know if Fireball Zap kills a level 13 Hunter. My guess is it probably doesn't. But... it's going to get damaged here, I think. So Fireball probably would now. Yeah, he's done for. I mean, we can just build... like, look at this. I could play a third Hunter now if I want to. I think we are going to do it, to be honest. Look at this. Just preventing him from, you know, building that push he wants. Like, even if he decides to go opposite lane, I feel like... yeah, look at this. We could Scar Me. And then I'm just going to Skeleton King. And, yeah, all we have to do is just... I'm not even going to Tornado that to the King Tower because it already took some damage. I'm just going to Tornado it backwards, be as safe as possible, and that's going to be GG. So yeah, only one air counter, but that's really all you need. I mean, Hunter is the best air counter in the game, and if they don't know that you have a mirror, then it's, you know, you basically have two Hunters. So, yeah, it's simple as that. And if your cycle's getting weird, right, and you need to cycle something, you can still cycle a Skeleton King and still mirror it. Because it doesn't count as a card you can mirror, so that's also why the mirror is just so good in decks that have champions in it. Alright, so against Victor 99, let's see if he wants to do anything. If not, I'm perfectly fine waiting here just a minute, even until double, because I think this deck gets better as it goes on. But, you know, just for the heck of it, I'm just going to barrel. I don't think there's anything wrong with starting with that. It's a very safe starting play most of the time. Okay, he does get the king activated. I'm going to hit him with the mirrored one. Why not? I guess it is giving up the fact that we have mirror, but, you know, whatever. I'm just going to do it, and then we'll Skarmy this. Maybe he has... This is probably either Golem or, like, Lumberloon Freeze. I don't really know. Okay, Lumberloon. This is... I would say this is going to be tricky, especially if he has E-Drag. I would say if he has E-Drag, this is probably a hard counter. So, it's going to be very hard, but we'll see. Oh, yeah, and the Inferno Drag, because I don't ever set to that. We'll see. I think it's going to be hard, but it's definitely possible. I guess I'll Hunter, and if he balloons, I'll just mirror the Hunter. Or Tornado it to the King Tower. Just used his Tornado there. Yeah, see, this is why it's going to be hard, because of the... I'm going to leak. I know it's weird, but... Alright, let's Sparky now. Yeah, I don't know. This is... Is he gonna freeze this? No. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. This is just... This is just not good. The Inferno Drag and the E-Drag are really annoying cards for this type of deck. Alright, well, we can just Tornado that to the King Tower. And then let's Sparky this lane. Yeah, I bet he... Ooh, he just barbelled that. Okay, hold on. He might have just messed up. That was a lot of damage we just got. Nice. Let's just do this. We have Hunter for the balloon. Okay, interesting bowler. Alright, let's just Sparky this, I think. And then Hunter the Inferno Drag. Alright. Barbell this. Alright, now the question is... Does he support that E-Drag? Because if he doesn't, I'm just ignoring the entirety of it. And then we can mirror the Hunter here. Ooh. So probably Tornado this balloon in. Oh my gosh, that Hunter deals so much damage to it. That's crazy. Level 13 Hunter. Alright. So far so good. We're getting pretty close now to winning this, actually. Tornado that in to make sure the bomb hits everything. Oh my gosh, that was so stressful. GG. Wow. Yeah, I don't even think that was that easy of a matchup, if I'm being completely honest, because I mean, I don't know. Even though, like, similar, like, the lava game, I don't think it's that bad. I think that's a lot harder because he had Bar Barrel and he had E-Drag, and I feel like Bar Barrel and E-Drag are really good against this deck, especially E-Drag. And Inferno Drag, too, because, yeah, I don't have her set to it. You saw, it was really annoying. I think if he split, his damage more or tried to do dual lane pressure, he could have broken through. But when he played everything in the same lane, it gave my giant skeletons more value than they probably should have gotten had he done some more dual lane pressure. So yeah, he's gonna just snowball. That doesn't tell me like a whole lot because there's a couple different decks that could have snowball. Okay, Bowler though makes me think probably Graveyard because usually in Lumber Loon it's always Barbell. It's never gonna be a snowball. So I would lean towards it. Okay, unfortunately I don't have... It's actually very annoying I don't have a Sparking cycle, because usually if someone cycles Giant in the back, and if you have a Sparking cycle, it's usually GG. Not every time, but most of the time. Like, it's very bad if that happens to them. So that's kind of unfortunate I don't... Alright, so let's mirror the Skarmy here. He's probably going to arrow it as soon as he can. Oh, wait, wow, he can't. So this is... Wow, this is actually a really good start. I could actually... Ooh, the bowler... Okay. No point in activating the ability, I don't think. Let's actually just Goblin Barrel here, I think, and then I'm probably gonna go... Maybe do we want to try some, like, interesting defense? Like Hunter to clean up that, and then it gets pushed, and then helps out against that. That's... pretty decent, I would say, with the exception of that bat getting, like, all that damage. So I'm gonna Sparky. And then let's see what he does. He might go opposite lane. Yeah, he does. I'm gonna Skeleton King. And we have... Mirror, so... Oh, wow, he took a Sparky shot. Interesting. I guess he realized he dealt... he took damage in the other lane, so... Okay, he shouldn't have enough to arrow immediately. Yeah, he had to wait a while. I'm gonna Sparky, I think, just because the bowler's really annoying for me. I don't know why he's not playing it more. Because it's actually such an annoying card against this deck. I'm gonna Hunter. And now we can activate ability. If he arrows, then we do this. And then probably Tornado. Okay. Could have been better, I guess. And this is probably going to be GG. These graveyards I just don't have an answer for, sadly. Yeah, it's GG. Yeah, that was a pretty bad matchup. I don't know. I guess I'd go as far as saying it's a hard counter just because I don't think he played that well. But then again, Giant Graveyard isn't really too high skill of a deck to say. I think most people know that. I mean, arrows and snowball, and then also, as I mentioned, the bowler. I'd say he had a very good matchup because I don't think he played that well, in my opinion. You know, not every time someone wins, it means they played well. Sometimes it just means they had a good matchup, and I feel like he did because I really don't think I have a great graveyard answer, and he had, like, arrows for my main one, which is the Skarmy. So, yeah, I don't think he played that well. I think at the beginning of the game, we got some damage because he messed up. I don't know how when he called an early good game because he got kind of, like, nervous because of that, but I think that was definitely a pretty solid matchup for him, so that's kind of unfortunate. So I don't think that the Sparky, yeah, is gonna shoot. Hopefully we're fine here. I think these pushes are just gonna kind of cancel each other out. We should be okay. Yep, exactly. That's exactly what happened, so we're fine. We just Skeleton King. Okay, Sparky. Sparky's just a great answer to the RG because even though it gets shots, the counter push can sometimes be really hard for them to deal with. In this case, though, he has Zappies, which I feel like are pretty good answer overall, but and the Electro Spirit, so now that I think about it, he does have some... Ooh, he had to waste Zappies there. Yeah, so I think in this type of game, we have to try to... That was an interesting giant skeleton. I actually don't know why he did that. And that got... And I think it getting pulled might have actually been a good thing, just because... But the Zappies are annoying. Oh, wow, look at all that damage that Skarmy's getting, though. Wow. Oh my gosh. Why did he ignore that? Did he think the King Tower was gonna, like, help out a ton against it or something? That must have been the case. I don't know what happened there. I don't know how that RG got that much damage, though. What the heck? That was actually really annoying. Oh, wow, that's... I think that's game. That... Wow. Yeah. Whew. If he stopped that giant skeleton, he would have won. So, I don't know if I can call that a throw, though, because, I mean... He did try to, I think, but it just... When he tried to stop it with, it died. I don't... Well, I don't know. Then again, I don't think I played that amazing. I think that RG I could have stopped a little better, but I'll take it. That was a good win. All right, 10-1, so 2 more games to go now. All right, so here we go. Let's see what this guy's running. Spear Gob, so that makes me think it's Mortar. Ooh, yeah, let's go Hunter here, and then probably... it wasn't worth activating, because the... I mean, the Valk is just a perfect counter to that. He probably didn't even need the log. So, that's actually fine. I'm glad he logged, because that helped me make sure, like, I didn't overcommit. Let's just Giant Skeleton here. It actually retargeted the Miner onto it, because the Giant Skeleton has a large, well, the mass or whatever, it has, like, a lot of push strength. The bat should go in front, so that'll make that push pretty easy to defend. I don't actually know if... Oh man, it died. That probably wasn't the best tornado, but then again, I don't know if the Valk just blocked it. It's kind of hard to say. So he has log and a fast cycle. I probably need to get a Sparky down as soon as possible, but he's doing a good job of pressuring, so it's hard to, but I think I'm actually going to do it right now. Like, now's a perfect time, just because the Spear Goblins, most of them died, so... Okay, he's got an Inferno. That does good against the giant skeleton. I guess I'll Skeleton King here. I could always use the Skarmy to distract the bats. Or the Inferno, rather. Oh, well. I guess that wasn't worth tornadoing. I should have, at that point, just tornadoed the miner to the King Tower. This is really annoying, though. Like, you can see how your cycle gets awkward sometimes against these, like, small cards like bats and spear goblins. It gets kind of obnoxious. It's not over yet, but we're probably going to lose. Yeah, that's it, I think. Yeah, rip. Kind of had a bad start. I think, like, the problem is, though, is those, like, bait cards, like the spear goblins and the bats, they just get too much value. It's kind of what happened in that, like, giant graveyard game, because you don't have, like, a zap or, like, a snowball, you know, to just get rid of them. But, I mean, the tornado was bad, but I still think it's a challenging matchup, because that wasn't even close, and usually when a game isn't close, they have a pretty hard counter, most of the time, anyway. And on top of that, the Inferno just gets a lot of value, you know, not having her set to it is kind of annoying, because you never can really get a giant skeleton to the tower if they have an Inferno and they know what they're doing, of course. I'll just Skeleton King, I think, since he's not doing anything. Okay, he goes Hunter. So that could be a few different things. I might just go for my own Hunter here, just behind it. This should be interesting. Giant Skeleton, I think, does pretty good against the 3M. Sparky does too, because they typically don't have a reset to it. That was a bad Ice Golem. Yeah, so Skarmy also is annoying for them. I just hope he doesn't have the Collector, because I don't have any spell for that. He also does have Log, so... Yeah, so definitely going to activate the King Tower here. We have... If he has Royal Hogs, we have Sparky and we have Skeleton. Yeah, nice. So, this is really good. And this might actually be GG. Because I think we actually have a hard counter, since he has Royal Hogs. We have, you know, Sparky, which destroys those. He doesn't have any reset to the Sparky. And, the Giant Skeleton and Skarmy are really good against the Three Musketeers. He might be able to defend this, but I'm just saying I think, we're probably going to win this game. At least I hope. Oh, wow, I don't know how that didn't... Yeah, this should be GG right now, actually. Yeah, see, usually, like... See, I don't, like, you know, I'm not, like, a one-sided person, like, or I won't, like, when someone hard counters me, I'm not gonna say, like, oh, they hard counter me. I'll admit... What I'm saying is I'll admit when I have a hard counter, and this is, like, a perfect example where this deck just does so good against 3M. So it's probably the perfect thing, you know, you'd want to use if, like, you don't like 3M, because... Yeah, Sparky, Skarmy, Giant Skeleton are, like, the three probably best cards to counter it, and they're all in one deck, so... If I were him, I'd just give up, but... I respect the hustle from his end, I guess. I think he might have just given up now. Yeah, he knows it's over. Yeah, that's... I mean, it's so easy because... I mean, even if it's 3M Collector... I feel like it's still super easy, unless they have a zap or something, because otherwise the Skarmy just gets infinite value. You know, they can't break through that thing. I mean, especially if they have, like, E-Barbs, too. You know, even if they have a battle ram, the Skarmy does amazing against that. So yeah, 11-2. Hopefully, you know, we can close out this grand challenge. We had a little bit more trouble this time than we did the last couple grand challenges I did in full length, because I mean, we have 2 losses going into the final game, whereas before I either had 1 or 0. But yeah, we'll see if we can get it, and I'll see you guys when I find it, because it's taking a while to find apparently. All right, here we go. Final match against Vixie. So, okay, Royal Hog's first play. Wow, I'm just going to go Skeleton King and Skarmy, I think. So, could be 3M, but could also be Royal Hog Cycle. Ghost, so it's looking like 3M. Another 3M deck, so I'm already liking the matchup, let's just put it that way. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and Sparky. If he decides to Royal Hogs in the other lane, I'll Sparky other lane. If he decides to, like, Bandit at the bridge in the other lane, I'll just Tornado it to the King Tower. So no matter what he does, I'm perfectly fine with, basically. So, okay, he's going to Golden Knight. I'm going to go Giant Skeleton in front here. I might get ready to Tornado. Let's kind of see what he does. Ooh, I think... Nice. That's really good. Oh my goodness. The Sparky, not only did it shoot the 3 Musketeers, it also shot the tower and the Giant Skeleton Bomb. And then look at that. Barrel. Boom. We pretty much already won. And we're, like, yeah, I was right. This deck is probably the best counter to 3M there is. I don't know. Unless you're running some, like, 4 spell deck, like Fireball, Poison... I mean, jeez, man. This thing is... I almost feel bad for him. Because... Yeah. I mean, do I just mirror that, or... Do I just... I think we just mirror? I don't know. I mean, even though he took my tower, I mean, I don't know how he's gonna... Like, you know, come back from this. Yeah, and that actually connected. Wow. I'm just going to Giant Skeleton here. 3Ms. He decided to not play them all in the same lane. I guess he learned his lesson from last time. Kind of canceled the shot, the Golden Knight. It's kind of weird how that works. Okay, cool. That took that out. I'm just going to Skarmy here. Oh, wow, that Sparky's still... Jeez, man, let's do this and just activate the ability, and then if he 3Ms, just NATO that in, and that should be it. Yeah, it's, like, impossible. He can't do anything. Yeah, I feel kind of bad. I really do. That's just... He just can't do anything. So that's it. We do get the 12 win. A little harder, but we still got it. Getting the 12 is all that matters. I mean, honestly, most people, when they get 12 wins, usually they probably have 2 losses anyway. I feel like this is probably the norm, especially when people win their very first grand challenge. If you've failed dozens of times, you probably have like an 80% chance or something like that of getting 2 losses your very first time you complete it. At least that's what I'd assume, because it's very hard to go flawless. So, yeah, there we go. 12 wins. Again, I think both of the times I lost were difficult matchups, and the 2 things they had in common were they had bait cards, right, that just got a lot of value. Like this game, the Skarmy and the Bats, and this game, the Bats, Spear Goblins, because I don't have any small spell. I mean, the Tornado kills it, but it's not really... I don't know, it's kind of an overcommitment, and if I need it on defense, but I will say, I think this one wasn't even close, but this one I probably could have played a little better and won. Like, maybe I could have tornadoed some of his giants backwards, so it didn't tank for the graveyard. I actually don't know why I didn't do that. That was kind of dumb of me not to, although I think a couple times I didn't have the tornado in cycle because I used it on offense to kill his Skarmies, but... Either way, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know why I'm worried about it because we got the 12 win. So yeah, that is going to be it for the video. I'm glad you guys have been so far enjoying these full 12 win videos. I'm going to continue doing it because you guys have been showing a lot of support for it. Like I said, since it's beginning of the season, I'm probably going to be doing these pretty frequently. And then as we get later in the season, I'm going to probably be doing more ladder. And then whenever that global tournament starts, I'm going to do that. I don't know why there hasn't been a global tournament yet this season. I mean, we still got this going on, so we know there isn't going to be probably a global tournament for at least another few days. So I don't know what the holdup is, but yeah, make sure to like the video if you guys did end up enjoying it. Subscribe if you guys are not subscribed already, and thanks again until next time, guys.